Welcome to the Dojo. I'm Grandmaster Ray Such. Now, in this episode, we're going to have a few more interviews and some seminar technique from the Circle of Masters. The Circle of Masters held in Ohio is put on by Master Dennis Janes and Master Ron Bayless. You can contact Dennis at mentorkarate.com. So if you're interested in that group of masters, check it out. It's a pretty good group, and they have a very great time when the masters all get together and that for helping support each other and giving technique to each other. Coming up now is an interview with Mr. Mike from Pennsylvania. He has DVDs on Women's Self-Defense Program, and he's going to be showing technique revolving around self-defense for women. So let's check this out and see how it is.
This is Christina Michelle with the Dojo, and right now we're at the International Circle of Masters in Beechwood, Ohio, and I'm talking with Mr. Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So if you want to start off just telling us a little more about who you are and what your style is, what you teach.
Sure. Thanks for having me again, Mr. Mike from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I own a dojo called Safe Day Studio. I've been training for many, many years, and I do a combination. It's called Honhabdo, which in Korean means blending of the arts. So it's a combination of Sanukusru Jiu-Jitsu, a combination of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Universal Kempo, Ruku Kempo, and what I did was I just took what I really believed to be the most effective and applied it to myself for reality-based fighting. And in addition to that, I've taken everything that I feel that works, and I've created a women's self-defense program. And now I'm very grateful to be producing and writing and distributing a book by the end of this year, and then a videotape series.
That's great, and that's for the women's self-defense?
It is for women's self-defense. It's called Mr. Mike's Staying in the Moment, Women's Self-Defense.
And what you teach, is it more a hard style, soft style, as far as the martial arts that you teach?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's really not about kicking or punching at all. It really uses a combination of integrated pressure points, joint locks, and posturing. And it's really about, if you look at the perpetrator, they use the element of surprise. It could be darkness, it could be coming up from behind you,
right.
It could be luring you in, using a lure. I lost my dog, hey, can you give me directions or whatever. So I teach the women how to use the element of surprise back, whereas opposed to an offensive push may get somebody even more annoyed, or a kick to the groin when that person then gets more aggressive to hurt the woman. I use a little bit more a different tactic, which is more engaging, not to do direct eye contact, but stay close so they can get that person's body parts close enough to where they can hurt the person, whether it be eyes, nose, throat, and a lot of it is just joint manipulation that actually really works. So it's not just one technique that may knock the person down. This is a finishing technique. So we're taking an eye out, or we're crushing a vertebrae, or crushing the windpipe. So those kind of nice things.
So you specialize in women's self-defense, or do you teach?
I teach military and law enforcement as well, but the women's self-defense is my passion. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I wanted to teach her that. I have a wonderful daughter who's now 17, who started with me in the martial arts years ago. So I have a passion for that, and I've always had a passion for helping the smaller person defeat the bigger person. So bullying it. I was bullied when I was younger, and I think that probably has something to do with my commitment to not having that happen to me, or now that I'm at the level I am, not happening to anybody. So I'd like to give back a little bit.
So is that what got you into the martial arts, was having been bullied?
No, my dad got me in when I was about 7 years old, and I trained with him, and then we both stopped, and then I picked it up on my own again. So it's just a passion of mine, and I've been doing it for a long time. Again, military and law enforcement. I teach handgun. I teach edged weapons, stick fighting, and jiu-jitsu, and a lot of other things.
So about how long have you been training in the martial arts, and how long have you been teaching?
For over 25 years, and I've been teaching for I've been doing it for a lot longer than 25 years, and I've been teaching for probably a little under 20.
That's great. So. And what does the martial arts mean to you? Like you were saying, the younger person or smaller person can defend themselves.
Yeah, I have a very unusual definition. It may be unusual to the layman, but I don't think it's unusual to other martial artists. The word martial law, is to protect people from other things. And so I feel it's my duty at the skill level that I am, that if I see something happening, that I need to help that person. So I need to defend myself, and I like to teach others. So I have a strong commitment. It's made me a better person, and I'm very grateful for having wonderful instructors, and I've had many of the best in the world. So I'm really grateful.
And you talked about the element of surprise when it comes to women's self-defense.
Yes.
Is that the biggest focus for you, is using that for whatever you teach?
Well,
is
I think
on
awareness.
using-
I think awareness. So, it happens to be that if you know who's in front of you, beside you, or behind you, you can, in fact, 90% of the time evade conflict, right? So if
Right.
somebody's walking down the street and you have enough awareness to realize that somebody's following you, you can, in time, exit. Or if you feel unusual, and women have these little things in the back of their neck called hairs, so when the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, you know something's wrong. A lot of women get afraid, get frightened, and they freeze, and so they don't react or they don't act, and that's when they get in trouble. Even on a date, somebody that they know, if they feel uncomfortable, they need to remove themselves from the situation, and if they can't remove themselves, they have to fight, and if they fight, they have to win. And
Right.
you're not going to go back for round two. So if you are with an assailant and you punch him and you don't hurt him, round two is going to be them punching you, and it's not going to go well. So
So
mine,
they only had
yeah,
that one shot.
I think they do, and you don't see a situation where you see a woman interviewing going, okay, so he punched me and I punched him, and then we fell down, then we got back up and the bell rang, now it's part two.
Right.
They usually end horribly wrong if the woman does not aggressively attack to the point of where they want to disable that person and escape. And if you can't escape, you have to fight. So
Right.
I've been doing it for a long time, and I really enjoy it.
Now, do you have a website where you mentioned you have a book coming out and a series where
I do.
your viewers can find more about that?
I do. It's safedaystudios.com, or You Stay Safe, the letter U, STAYSAFE, YouStaySafe.com. And please look us up, and the book will be coming out before this in December of 2013. And then I have a 4-part DVD series with the same name, Mr. Mike's Women's Staying in the Moment, Women's Self-Defense.
All right, that's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add for our viewers?
Just want to tell everybody to stay focused and stay in the moment, and make sure you walk around with your head up, chest out, and that you focus on awareness. I think that's 90% of what gets people in trouble. They just are not aware of their surroundings.
Well, that's some
And
great
thank you
advice.
for
Thank you
today.
again for talking with us.
My pleasure.
Keep watching, and we'll be right back with more on the dojo.
Have you ever wanted to be an actor? At Cleveland Academy of Film Acting, anyone can get on the path to a new exciting film career. If you're new to acting, an experienced pro, or somewhere in between, Cleveland Academy is for you. We help place our students in local film projects. Classes are on Wednesday night from 8 to 10 p.m., and your first class is absolutely free. Call 216-323-2393. That's Cleveland Academy of Film Acting.
Admit it. You're the one who killed him. You seduced him, gained his confidence. And then when he wasn't looking, you reached into your purse, and without conscience or remorse, you pulled out a gun and shot him. And cut. Curious? Visit theindygathering.com, a film festival, and so much more.
In today's world, there is an absolute need to know how to protect yourself. But who has the time or money for lengthy training sessions with techniques you may not remember in a time of need, or which can wind up putting you in even more danger? With Escape and Survive, you will learn effective, easy to remember techniques for getting out of dangerous situations. No complicated moves, no expensive, time-consuming training. Just common sense self-defense. Book your seminar today at escapeandsurvive.com.
Welcome back. Now we're going to be going to Mr. Mike's seminar on self-defense. So take a look. I think you'll enjoy it.
You can come in. This is not a choke. That's Hollywood. The choke is just this finger. The other four, just get them out of the way. Did you ever see this? Watch. Here's the choke, right here. How nice was that? It's not bad, right? I mean, it's not pleasant. So, hands up. So, That one's lower, this one's lower. Here, this way. Anybody practice this in the dojo? I want to finish this thing. So if this person has their hand up, I may not have the opportunity to go, okay, I've got to evade. I want to go southpaw because I want to get further away from that rear punch. I may just say, I got to end this, man. I could be in some serious trouble, and I just want to start breaking this stuff down. Now, real quick, then we'll get into some takedowns. Soke was talking about the pressure points. If you look at my mustache and you draw a line right down to your chin, on both sides of your jaw, under here, there's a notch. Feel a notch. It's a little notch. Right on the jawbone, you'll feel a notch. And if you don't have one, you're a Martian, because all human beings have one. Right on that mandible coming down. Everybody find it? Right down from where your mustache would be a notch. You had it. Right here. Right there. That's number 5. So when you see boxers and you saw Muhammad Ali and he was punching somebody and he punched the guy and the guy went down and he was knocked out, his leg went out from under him, it wasn't a mandible punch, it was on the jaw. That's number 5 right here. Just squint your teeth. That's number 5. Got it? This is number 5 right here. By the way, hands up again. Gee, how about number 5 right there? How about number 5? How about number 5? Anybody ever know, does anybody know 5 swords technique? One guy in the whole room? Les, thank you, Grandmaster Les. 5 swords, right? Punch comes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm hitting number 5, 1. I'm hitting number 5 twice. I'm hitting a little spleen action here. I'm parrying to get everything in number 5. Does that make sense? So that may be a nice technique to practice, because if it's going to go down and you have to get into it with somebody, I want to take them out. So I have his ear. For all intents and training purposes, I'm being really nice. I'm cupping his ear. But really what you want to do is grab his ear. So just watch this. Have we met, sir? Have we rehearsed this, sir? Okay. So just watch this. So I'm grabbing an ear and I'm popping and turning. I'm grabbing the ear, popping the ear back, like this. Everybody remember this. Popping and turning. Pop, turn. Popping the ear, turn. By the way, from here, am I on the ground? Anyone, please. No. Is he on the ground? No. But I have a nice position, right? I have mataleo. In Portuguese, mataleo. The lion's kill. How does a lion kill? Puts its mouth up underneath the victim and it squeezes. And in Japanese, sealing the blood, or other, we have the carotid artery and we have the windpipe right here. So we're creating a triangle to get all 3. So you'll see people with this mataleo, and here's what they do. Watch this. They want to come in because their instructor said, get this point directly under the chin, right? Guess what? If somebody's coming in at me and I feel them coming over and they're doing this, I'm out of there. This choke is done quickly, and he'll tell you, here, just face this way so everybody can see you. I'm going to start choking them out before I even lock them up. I'm taking the energy in my arm and I'm turning it, and I'm going to cut his carotid artery off before I even start to choke. He'll tell you, if it's not working, he will let me know, but I guarantee you it will. I'm going to start to choke here. You feel it? Here, okay. Here, I'm turning the choke. By that time, it's already over. So that choke is not done. That choke is you lay into that as you're turning your arm here, and then I'm coming here. Now, I have him locked up, and I really don't want to go to the ground. What I can do is pull him, and I'm going to be really nice. I'm not. Tell me if this works. Does that work? No? Sure it does. I'm still standing. Does it work? Yes, it works. He's using his body weight. He's going to use his body weight. If I'm here, let me switch up real quick. Go, give him a hand. Anybody know what this is? Grappling, right? Tying up. Everybody from the Romans always went The rules are, this person puts their hand on the back, this person puts their hand here. They pull down. Us, like they have it. So take a look at this side for a second over here. So you see him pulling down? I love that because does anybody here know what a hook is? So I want to take a hook to number 5. So he pulls down on that. And I'm driving to number 5. Oh, by the way, I got number 5, and now I'm here, and now I've got this. And I kind of like the guillotine a little bit. I'm going to lock it in. That's all from pulling down. I'm here. How about this one, young people? Little pressure point behind, back here is I want to fight with my hand underneath so I can do this. Now I'm here. Look. And now I'm sliding this down on his monkey paw on his tricep. And now I'm here. So as I pop this, I don't go around here. I just take it right away. And I'm here. Now check this out. I got the hook here, and I've got this ready. I'm going this way. Just look at me. You're going this way. So here I am. Tied up, pop. I want to come here. You all right? Turn this way. All right. Knee. Switch out. You sure? Do it slow. This is the throw. Watch me. Just freeze right here. I'm going to remove myself from you. Stay right there. Let go. Watch this. This is all it is. I have to finish the takedown with this knee. Always. Why is this knee? I'm so sorry, by the way. This knee has to finish and this hand has to finish. Because if I'm mounting somebody for a ground and pound, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have to finish these techniques. I can't half-butt this thing. I can't get it to where I gotta finish. I gotta wrap that knee around. But it looks crazy, like I'm here, and I'm doing some really crazy throw. I'm just taking this leg out, and I want to get as close to the ground as possible to just do that. So we'll do it I'll just do it at normal pace. Get okay with that? Just want to take it. So we're here, we're rolling around. I want to pop this free up here, so here we go. Now I'm here, in the mount, and I got a lot of stuff. Turn this way. I love this here. Just stay this way when you're back. So I'm here. What happens? Anybody watch UFC or MMA or whatever? Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. This guy's flexible. So what happens to me? I've been doing this a while, so I probably will lock in, and he can oompa me, but I know how to base, so he's going to oompa me off, right? So I'm going to base, bam, I'm coming down. Guess what? I may be in some serious trouble. I think I'm in a good spot. I want to try to get as high on this guy as possible. Now, how you doing now? Not so good. I went for a high guard, super high guard. How you doing now? You got anything? You go shrimp out? Yeah, guess what? I'll let him shrimp out right after I smash his face about 8 times. So hold on, you ready? You ready to shrimp out? Bam! 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 From here, he's fighting, he's got his hands up, trying to grab me. I slide up for that high guard. Now, just turn this way a little bit. A little bit. Sorry. You guys enjoying this? Learn anything? Okay, now, he's way stronger than I am, I can already tell you. The guy's chest, your chest is like, yeah, I feel like I'm sitting on a horse. I may be in some serious trouble here, but I'm going to use my ingenuity and my leverage that he's reaching up, and if I'm able to just get an elbow halfway across my body, I can do this. How you doing now? So watch this, guys. I wasn't doing too good before. I was nervous. Now am I doing good? By the way, does anybody know triple warmer 17? What? It's right back here. So watch him with triple warmer 17. Right behind the ear. Here's what I see everybody doing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Thumbs up, step over, and they sit back. So stay right here because we're going to go through. They sit back, and they try to get an arm bar. You can push this off. Go ahead, pull that off. Get up, go back down. I don't have any leverage. I need that elbow in here. Guess what? I'm in some serious trouble if I did it this way. So let me show you a different way to do it. Here's the technique. Please stand up. So, hey man, I'm in trouble. Punch comes in. I'm here. Now, I'm stepping and closing his face in, pulling the arm up right here, and squeezing my knees. Now, I don't have to lay down. But I'm going to sit back. By the way, I can go a little deeper. And by the way, I can go a little deeper with my foot in his neck.
Now, as you can see on these self-defense techniques, they really work. Now, if you're a student of the martial arts and you're beginning to work some of the self-defense techniques, please start slowly and start with a little bit of pressure so your opponent can feel what you're doing and you can judge their response little at a time. As you start getting the skill of controlling how much pressure it takes to take someone down or to hold somebody in constraint, you need to just do it slowly. Do it slowly, a little pressure, until you can feel their response. And again, in the martial arts, when you're down in control, the old standby is 3 slaps on the leg, and that means stop the pressure or release the technique. Always listen for this from your opponent. The next interview we're going to is Grandmaster Les from New Jersey. He's going to have his interview, but the one thing about him that separates him from a lot of us is that he creates his own bladed custom weapons. You've got to check this out.
And right now I'm talking with Grandmaster Les. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
If you want to just start off by telling us a little more about your style and what you do.
Okay. Well, my system is called Sandokan. It is entirely my system. It's based on human anatomy. Complete understanding of human anatomy, joint manipulation. It's based on physics. I've designed my own weapons, which are based on physics, geometry. And so there's a lot of scientific issues behind it, But as far as the footwork is based on Filipino, Indonesian, and Tibetan arts.
Would you say it's more of a hard style or a soft style, kind of a combination?
It's basically the streetwise combat ready, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but everything you do with the weapons, you can do it without, and empty hand. And weapon's just an extension of you. That's all it is.
And you have some props here. What is this that you have with you?
Yeah, I do actually. I have DVDs actually that we just put out, level 1s and 2 and 3 and 4. There's 5 levels to a system. This is one of my new books that's out. So I guess you can purchase it on Amazon, Borders. You can actually go to my website and buy it as well. Or just call me. I'll send you one. And here's some of my weapons that I design. As you notice, well, these are trainers, but my knives have, it's pretty much an anatomical design. It goes straight with lineal position, and it's 4-bladed instead of 2 blades. So this is some of the batongs, and here's another beautiful toy that we play with. So
is that one of the biggest things you focus on is weapons work, or you were saying street combat? Is it more empty hand?
It's all the above. But what I found is I've been stabbed many times. I've been attacked with knives. I've been shot at. Okay, I'm still here. I'm intact, and so I found that knives are readily available. A gun is kind of harder to get, and actually, believe it or not, knife is more deadly.
Right.
So I teach knives, and I utilize what is called war principle. War principle means with their arm's reach. Most people have the big misconception that you just push it off and take off. No, everybody gets lucky. Even if I don't know how to throw, I may get lucky.
Right.
Or I might turn around and there's 2 bodies with the bad guy. So that's the problem. So I've devised a system when you fight in close quarters, and your body shield, no matter how many of them are.
Now this is your own art. What
Yes.
else? What did you study before that
Oh God!
you put together to create your art?
I started many years ago in 70s, let's say, early 70s. I started with a Japanese art called Kyokushin, and after that I came to the United States, and I was very fortunate to study Kempo, and then I was introduced to Grandmaster Priestess, so I started studying modern East Filipino art. After that, I was introduced to Dr. Manji, so I started with Bando, which is a lot of knife stuff. And then, I've traveled all over the place abroad, and, I've been to the Philippines, all different places, and blades always fascinated me. And so I just went towards the bladed arts.
So would you say you incorporated things from the different styles you've studied?
Yeah,
or is there any specific styles that there's a lot of elements of it?
Yeah, you may say that. It's pretty much there's a little bit of element from each style. I didn't create a style, I created a system. Style has been created 500 years ago.
Right.
I emphasize a lot of science, especially understanding of the body, the way the body moves. That's how all my techniques are based. With the way you move, I have to see it. I pretty much know how to attack it, how to defend it, because of your movement. So anatomy is number 1, which is basically your science, And I utilize physics, kinetic energy, kinetic movement, So it just all those things go in pretty much together, and not in pairs, but together. They work as one. And the best thing is, most people think that timing is the number 1 thing. It is, but it's timing and response time. And a lot of people have the misconception that they're the same. They're not. But when you master something, you have to put them together that they become the same.
Right.
So, and that's what my system incorporates. But as far as footwork's concerned, as I said, there's a lot of Filipino, Indonesian, there's a lot of Tibetan. So it's all, I guess, a mixture of things.
And where is your school located?
It's located in Cinnaminson, New Jersey.
So what brings you out here to Beechwood for the Circle of Masters?
Well, what brings me? Ron Ballas. He's a good friend. I know him from World Karate Union Hall of Fame. And we've talked on a radio show. Sidekick Publication radio show, and I was invited, so I'm here, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. So
That's great. And what are some of the things that you're showing here this weekend?
well, I'm going to teach Sandokan, basically a lot of the stuff that is Sandokan is actually unique to its own techniques as well. It's not anybody else's technique. It's strictly techniques that were made for the system.
Right.
So I'm going to be teaching a lot of techniques tomorrow. I'm going to teach do's and don'ts and try to understand people, how the anatomy of the body works. So.
And will you be showing anything with the weapons?
Oh yeah, it's going to be all knives. So the do's and the don'ts. The do's how to get killed, and the don'ts how to not to. So.
What would be your biggest advice for somebody that's just starting out in the martial arts? Whether it's somebody that walks into your school, has never had training, or a viewer watching right now, for what would be your advice for starting their journey?
Always start with the basics, because a lot of people want to do the flashy thing, and in my opinion, flash is trash without the basics. So take your little steps. Never take the leaps, because when you take that leap, you're going to miss the important things in between. So take it gradual, step by step. Put in your time, put in your hard work. There's no shortcuts to it. I've been doing this for over 43 years now, and I'm still learning.
Right, so you never stop learning?
You never stop. No, you become a student of life.
And you said that your stuff is available on Amazon and
it's on
your
Amazon,
website. How
Borders.
can our viewers find it?
Oh, it's easy. Just go to www.leskiersnowski.com, which is LESKIERSNOWSKI. Or they can just call me.
All right, and your contact information is on the website?
Yep. Or you just call me area code 267-581-7055.
All right, that's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
No, actually, I'd like to invite everybody to the seminar.
All right, that's great. And thank you again for talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
Grandmaster Les has also worked on films, creating weapons, doing the martial arts, and it's something all martial artists should look into. If you're a student of the martial arts, mention it to the studio owner or your grandmaster or your instructor to contact us here at the Real TV Network, and we'll give him some insight on how he could bring his school into the film world. Actually, I might even get in touch with Grandmaster Les and check out some of his weapons for one that I'm producing called Lady Dragon. Some unique stuff. It's a martial arts film with zombies, voodoo, you name it. And I think some of his weapons would really stand out in the film. So we're going to a break. Stay tuned.
Cleveland Academy for Self-Defense is Northeast Ohio's premier martial arts school. Located on Cleveland's near west side, we teach several martial arts disciplines, specializing in Taekwondo and Hapkido. As taught by Master Ray Such, students of Cleveland Academy learn discipline, formal martial arts training, and real-world self-defense techniques. Classes are available for children and adults. Cleveland Academy for Self-Defense, the home of champions.
Welcome back to the Dojo. I'm Grandmaster Ray Such. This segment is In the Ring. Today's going to be a little different. I'm not going to show you technique on what to do in the ring. I'm going to give you a little bit of inside information on the judges. not only the judges, but how to work the judges. You're going to find out that you can't actually benefit from knowing what's going on by the individual judges. So let's check this out.
All right, this segment of In the Ring. One of the things that major talented fighters realize is they're not only fighting the opponent in the ring, but they're also fighting the judges in some cases. Experienced fighters will tell you one problem they may have. I'm sure you've always heard where your student may have said, "Oh, I got ripped off. They didn't vote for me. I did a point and they didn't vote." Blah blah blah. All right, a lot of that stems from a lot of reasons because there's no way usually all 5 judges, if there are 5, corner, and center referee can see one point unless it's some big visual back fist in the air. So sometimes it's side shots they can see, others can't see. But here's what I'm getting at. You go to a tournament, normally it's at a gymnasium. They'll put tape down on the ring, on the floor, creating rings. Over here, maybe peewees, 6, 7-year-olds. Over there, juniors. Over there, white belts. Over there, green belts, red belts. Majority, if not all of the judges, are judges who bring students with them. Those studio owners, those instructors are in the corners of rings judging. Okay? Now, sometimes, they may have a student in the next ring and they're splitting their attention between your ring and their student in the other ring. So anyways, when you first start at a tournament, you sit down. The first thing, of course, you do is study your opponent. Study the people that are fighting in the ring because those 2, one will be a winner and they will come back later for you to fight. Find out their strengths. Find out their weaknesses, whether you use a notebook or whether you memorize different things. But let's get back to the judges. So now you stand up, back stance. Him and I are fighting. I score a point, and all of a sudden the center referee, which will be me now, saying, point. 1, 2, not enough. At this point, you got to understand, if you have 3 judges, 2 must vote for you. If you have 5 judges, 3 must vote for you. So that center referee right now is going 1, 2, no, not enough. Continue. Boom, 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 bang, point scored. Center referee stops, says, judges, score. Point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fight. Another point is scored. Points. Not enough. Continue. Fight. Boom. Fight. That's 3. You got the point. 2, nothing. A number of no points. But one thing you should have already saw. He's voted, she's voted, he's voted. He has yet to vote. It's what I call a dead judge. Now it just could be because his attention split to other things going on. So now, the one thing you want to do is wake that dead judge up. If I'm the opponent of this individual, once I realize I've got a dead judge there, or in the very beginning I saw 4 fights, this guy very seldom, if ever, gives a point. When I walked into that ring, the first thing I would have done was taken this side, facing the dead judge. In this particular case, I'm on the opposite side of the fight. My job now is to take my opponent in whatever skill and motion I have, doing different techniques, shifting him, backing him up, jamming him, cornering him, coming under the dead judge so I get waking up the dead judge. I take the fight to the weak judge underneath their nose. These three have been gladly paying attention and voting. I've been voting as a center referee. That judge was not. So we take the fight under his nose by maneuvering. If I know this before I get into the ring, I will take the side facing that judge so I can take the fight that way into his corner. Make sure when you do score a point, you score a point with a loud, ah! Ah! Loud T-ops. I've seen many fighters do a little bit of theatrics. Instead of just doing this, they kind of do, ah! Wave that fist around. On a weak, inexperienced judge, that would help. The dead judge, it might wake him up. So today, that's my little tip for in the ring. Stay tuned for other techniques, everything and anything that can help you in the ring. I'm also going to do some on kata, hyungs, what might help you in form competition. Every little edge brought together gives you the edge. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Are you a filmmaker looking for the location of your next project? Contact the North Coast Film Commission. With small cities throughout Ohio, we're here to help with your film, television, and commercial productions. With low to no cost permits and locations, we'll help stretch your budget. From our production resources to our talent database, we will show you just what the North Coast has to offer. Visit northcoastfilmcommission.com today.
You two have disrupted my classroom for the last time.
What are you gonna do about it? Spank us?
She can't spank us. It's against the law.
Spanking would be too easy. I'm gonna cause more permanent damage.
And cut. Curious? Visit theindygathering.com, a film festival, and so much more.
This part of the show is a minute of self-defense. Christina Michelle shows you techniques against different types of attacks and assault. In this particular one, it's against an abduction. The gentleman reaches out, grabs you by the arm, and tries to pull you. Remember, in an abduction, the abductor is not always where he wants to be. You're where you want to be. So normally they try to get a hold of you and pull you to wherever. Their car, behind a tree, behind a bush, into an alleyway. So abductions do happen, and it's usually with a grip to remove you from one spot to another. So let's see how she handles this scenario.
Hi, I'm Christina Michelle. This is common sense self-defense. And using your common sense, your freedom is the first issue. Element number 1, stiffen your arm and open your hand. In a circular motion, you are going to swing and counter grab his wrist. Next key element, you're going to step forward with your other leg, reach to his shoulder, and pull his wrist into your hip. You're going to drive his body down while lifting on his wrist. We are not viciously attacking, kicking, striking, causing a fight back. So what you do is execute the technique, obtain your freedom, and flee, and get help.
You can see Christina really handled her attacker. You know, there's so many things you can do in self-defense from all the different arts. some of which that I specialize in are common sense self-defense, just the escape and survive. And you can watch 2 of my videos free of charge. If you go online, it's at escapeandsurvive.com. We have our videos 1 and 2 on there where you'll see a lot of these attempted abductions, controlling techniques, intimidation of a male against a female. But the one thing I want to talk about the most is the first step in self-defense is being aware of where you're at, who you're with, what's around you, who's in front of you. You know, the safest thing you can do is 1, know what is around you, such as in, with the holidays or special times, shopping days. You go into the mall, you go into the parking lot, it's at night, you're walking towards your car. Be aware of other people walking on intersecting angles to you. It's very easy to just kind of look confused, turn around, walk back into the mall if somebody is too close to you. And again, male or female, one of the problems most people have is meeting someone as a stranger. We have a tendency of when somebody reaches out their hand to shake hands, your hand automatically responds. If you're in a nightclub or in the back of an area of a party or nightclub, the minute you go and you shake hands with that individual, he has control of you. And yet others may see just the shaking of your hand, but he has a grip on you. So when you don't know the individual, in my opinion, if you're not with family or friends, don't shake hands. The other thing, especially for the male, they talk about, I get a lot of students that'll come into my school and say, one of the most common thing is, what's your best defense against a sucker punch? Well, if you really break that down, it's the distance between you and the assailant. And if you've let them get too close to you, hence sucker, you're the sucker, you get punched. Really, the best technique against a sucker punch is to realize the reach length of the person in front of you and the distance between yourselves. If they step forward, you take a step backwards. If you're trained in the martial arts, or even not, to block different things or whatever, talk with your hands in front of you. Nobody finds this as a threat. Right now, I'm talking with my hands. Those hands are exactly where I'd want them, to quickly be able to block and strike. Again, one of the biggest things about self-defense is to be aware. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the distance of the person in front of you, and don't forget, kids on the street now watch TV. They know how to kick. So even the length of their leg distance. Okay, so again, talk with your hands. It's non-threatening. To make fists introduces a fight where you might just be able to talk and get out of it. So just a little of opinions. And remember, right or wrong, they're the way we teach, the ideas we have. And everybody has different ideas and different approaches. These are some that are just kind of neutral that helps anybody. So I want you to stay tuned for our series. Check back with us for new episodes, and we'll see you again on the Dojo.